Hello, fellow Bulls and Bears. It is January 4th, 2022. I hope everyone's having a good year so far. We're only 4 days into the year. How's it going so far? Are we having a bull boom year? You having a bear bust year? Are you having a hard time? Please let me know down in the comments. We're only 4 days in. I don't expect too much to be that much different than 2021, but I wish everyone the best. Economic update, financial news, another dose of economic reality right now. We've got a lot of things to talk about regarding the markets, regarding the financial system, regarding the economy as a whole. Now, let's start with real estate. Our last report, we talked about new home prices, inventory, mortgage rates, a lot of different things. Now, keep in mind, new home sales are the last time I checked, less than 15% of all home sales. Between 15 and 20% may be at the highest. So that's not going to be a big or the biggest indicator on where the housing market's headed as a whole. But a few of you let me know down in comments that you disagreed with my analysis when I said the housing bubble will not bust this year. Now I said, with an asterisk, I said it will not bust unless the Fed actually does what they're saying they're going to do. They're saying they're going to raise interest rates. I'll believe it when I see it. They're saying they're going to stop buying securities with the end date being sometime in March. I'll believe that too when I see it. So if they do what they say they're going to do, yes, there will be a change in the housing market. When they stop buying all of these securities, all these mortgage-backed securities, all these loans, when they stop taking the risk away from the banks, that could be something that's drastically going to affect the housing market. But what I said in that report is, I doubt if they're going to do what they say they're going to do. So those of you that disagreed, you think the housing bubble is going to go pop this year, I hope you're right. But you're more trusting. It sounds like you believe the Fed is going to actually do what they say they're going to do. I'm a little less trusting of the Fed than you, it sounds like. But let's get into some housing market news. Now, today I was talking to a real estate agent from out here in San Diego, and I kind of suspected this. But this agent said he's never seen so many people pool together or team up to get a mortgage. He said he's seeing more families coming together, more siblings, more two-income households where both people have to work. And that can be pretty dangerous. If one of two people lose their job, then good luck making a mortgage payment, especially on a California home where the median home price is now approaching, well, depending on the city, but overall it's about 700,000 and even higher in some places. So if you're qualifying for a mortgage to get into one of these bubble priced homes using two incomes, what happens when somebody one loses a job, when one of the two people gets a demotion or has to take a pay cut, maybe change jobs? Now you're stuck into a 30-year mortgage with a payment you could barely afford with two incomes. And imagine what's going to happen if you drop down to one income, or if one of the two people gets a lower paying job or has to change careers. So in my opinion, it's still pretty risky. There's still a lot of people out there taking out these maximum mortgages to try to outbid the next person, to try to outbid the corporate buyers that are still out there. Now, on that note, yes, Zillow has dropped out of the home flipping business, but we still have some big monstrous buyers out there. We still have Blackstone, other big investment companies, other institutional buyers. We're still waiting to see the fourth quarter 2021 numbers as far as the number of investors. And of course, I will be here to update you on the situation with institutional and corporate investor home buyers. All right, the bottom line is, though, they want you to own nothing. If you leave it up to the leaders, the ones steering this economy, they would have every one of us, little people, renting from a mega corporation. That's the bottom line. That's what they want. All right, they don't want you to own anything. They want you to rent everything from them that they own. And the wealth transfer continues. And 2021 was one of the worst years that we've seen. Let's bring up an article on that. Take a look at this right here out of Daily Mail. World's 10 richest people gained 400 billion in wealth in 2021. People like Musk, Bezos, but it's not just those two examples. Overall, the people at the very, very top, the 10%, and even more so the top 1%, are gaining more wealth than we've ever seen at any point in history. All right. Stop looking at Kim Kardashian down there and Leonardo DiCaprio. That's not what this channel is about. But something very important I want you to take out of this. This type of wealth transfer and this type of disparage between the ultra rich and the poor and the working class and the middle class typically precedes not just an economic collapse or recession, but a ending of the, how should I say this? Ending of an empire, right? So think about the fall of the Roman Empire, the collapse of entire countries, not just recession, not just economic financial crisis like we saw in 2008, the end of an entire era of a financial system. All right, and I'm not saying it's going to happen tomorrow or next week, but we are headed in that direction. When the trend reverses, when the working class start gaining more of the wealth, then I will let you know. But we're not trending in that direction. We're headed in the opposite direction, meaning on the average, the typical working person, the average U.S. person, consumer is getting further into debt, is owning less, and the people at the top are gaining more wealth, more property ownership. For example, we've cited this before. The top 10% own about 90% of all stocks, and it's just going to continue. I don't see anything that's really going to stop it. If you see better news, a better view on the horizon, please let me know. But I see this continuing. What's consumer debt up to now? About 15 trillion. Am I right? Yes. At the end of the third quarter 2021, over 15 trillion. When we get the fourth quarter numbers, it's going to go higher. It's going to go higher. People are not paying off debt as a whole. People are getting further into debt, unless you're counting the top 10%. But overall, the bottom 90%, most people getting further into debt. All right, so think about this. We have the nearly 30 trillion in national debt, and we have another 15 trillion in consumer debt that people hold just through loans and money that they owe to their bank. We've got what's that, $45 trillion that we're supposed to pay off somehow. The working person is supposed to be on the hook for this debt, and they're coming after you and me, the working person, to pay for this, which is literally impossible. But yet people just go along with it. They think, yeah, this is normal, that everything's going to be fine. Things are not going to be fine. We're headed for a major financial collapse. People are calling it a reset, but it's going to be a transition. It's going to be a painful one, especially to people that do not know what's coming. But you and I, we know what's coming, so we'll be better prepared, hopefully, than most. And they're coming up with ways to replace us. They're coming up with AI, robotics, ways to replace us, as a robot's not going to call in sick, not going to get an infection, not going to cause problems. And we see more stories like this out of ABC of hotels with robots filling staffing shortages. And it's just going to continue. I mean, this is not going to stop. They're going to continue to look for ways to replace you and myself and the average worker. It's not going to stop. So continue to brace. And what's going to happen to all these people that rely on two incomes to go ahead and qualify for a mortgage? Some hard times are coming for a lot of people. Hope you're doing good at this time. Hope you're well. Thanks for being here for this report. Big love to each and every one of you. Bye for now. Peace.